We ain't come to play, we don't run away. We gon' elevate, watch us elevate. We on a mission, yeah. We on a mission, yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome today. It is Friday, post-election here in the United States of America. And a lot of Americans, let's say millions and millions of us, are recovering. It's been a difficult week as we are facing some tough times ahead. And I know that this feels very confusing and challenging. And I wanted to start the process for what's coming by putting out some information on what I feel is very, very important. This is a revolutionary time that we're in, and we're going to see the revolution more prevalently in the coming months and years. These are changing times. These are times that we need to stick together and come together and spread the light, shine the light, because the light will win. The light will prevail. So we're going to be going over topics like our unconscious mind, briefly going over our unconscious, aka subconscious, psychedelic therapy, and meditation. When we raise our conscious awareness, we then are also raising the entire planetary consciousness. So let's remember this, and the more we do this, the stronger we will become. I strongly believe this. So in order to expand our minds, to really understand this, we first need to recognize that we are more than just physical beings. We are a body that is made up of several energy fields, and these energy fields are very magnetic and dynamic, and they radiate through us and out into the universe. Although most of us can't see these energy fields, they are always present. We all have come here for a purpose, a calling to be something greater in the world. We also all have very different paths to follow. So it's important to not compare yourself to someone else, but to really try to listen within and follow your intuition and your passions and your desires that you feel that you're here to do. So how we walk our path is a choice. It's free will, so to speak. As life unfolds, we sometimes lose sight of that purpose, attracting and or blocking our energies and establishing limited beliefs or limiting a belief system within us that don't align with our true selves. And so then we have to try to come back and do a little bit of work to really find our true self again. And everybody does this at a different point in their life. Some may never do it at all. This creates a constant tension between our ego and our spirit, our true self that we came here to be, when we are not fulfilling our path and what we're supposed to be here to do. So when we can radiate frequencies emanating from our chakras, and if you don't know what the chakras are, maybe you've heard of them, there are 7 energy centers or chakras within our body. Whether these frequencies are blocked or fluid, they protect our vibrations we send out into the universe. This energy can either align us or by bringing us closer to our higher purpose or pull us away from it. The expansion of our minds can become more magnetic to what we're meant to attract if we open in these centers. And if we don't let go of our limiting beliefs and work on the subconscious programming, our unconscious mind, then we can get stuck acting out in negative ways from triggers, fears, and such, creating an anxious, uncomfortable, and even painful feeling in the body. Much of what we experience today stems from our subconscious, which drives 95% of our reality, rooted from our past experiences, beginning from any kind of childhood trauma we have experienced or may have experienced. If we're going to heal and align, we need to work on this subconscious layer, the source of so many of our triggers and setbacks. If you need help with this and want to know more, I'll have some links in the show notes for further exploration. As we do this work, we become more magnetic, drawing in what truly aligns with our purpose and expanding consciousness in ways that bring us closer to the Creator, nature, and to our own inner power. This journey strengthens us to fulfill our unique mission here on Earth. There is one essential question to ask yourself. What energies are you surrounding yourself with? The people we hang out with and communicate with on a daily, the music we listen to, the media we consume on a daily, the vibes we are feeling our time and our space with? Do they resonate with your higher purpose? Are these aspects in your life in alignment, or are they holding you back from becoming your best self? This is an important time in history on the planet here that we all have known to be our home. So let's explore into other ways that we can expand our minds. These days we are in can either be pure stress or what I'm beginning to realize, pure light. It's a choice. I see everything now as a choice. And yes, it is hard. Sometimes there's various factors that could be pulling you away from making the correct choice or how we're feeling from day to day. And when we get to a certain age in life, this becomes clearer than ever as you start to lose years of your earth experience. I started really becoming more clear on what the fuck I was doing and what I want to do, and just really feeling when I turned 50 a year ago, I was like, okay, I am really feeling like I am at the end part of my life. I don't know how many more years I'll be here. It could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 30. I don't know. It could be more. But it's definitely most of my life has passed me, I feel. And so I really wanted to just only do the things that I love and try to, find my purpose, which I already felt like I knew what it was. And I've stayed pretty close to that. It hasn't changed too much, but I know that there's more that I can't see. And there's, probably so much more that I could do. I just need to stay close in alignment with spirit, with God. And so I can, fulfill my purpose as well as possible. So my own journey, I can tell you, has not been an easy one. Some days, someday I may tell this story. I have decided, though, for now, that I am here for a reason. Once when I was in an ayahuasca ceremony, her medicine spoke to me, and she was saying to remember who I am. It was like to stop worrying and to, not have fear get in the way of my higher purpose on my path here. and just to remember who I am, which I already knew part of that deep inside because I'd already started this path and this journey, but I'd also kind of swayed away, and I wasn't completely feeling it how I had dreamt I wanted to feel it in my 20s, because things get in the way, right? Life gets in the fucking way. So I wasn't sure what she meant exactly, but it gave me a sense of reassurance to keep on my spiritual path of creating my purpose here. And from time to time, it's been several years since I heard that from this plant medicine. I always remember that. I come back to that, and it gives me some kind of purpose and meaning in life when I'm losing it all. So since I have had many psychedelic experiences, which I am grateful for, this type of plant medicine, which offers a psychedelic, the root meaning of psychedelic, meaning mind manifesting or soul revealing. The psychedelic trips into consciousness are really, truly healing and can be truly healing if done in the right set and setting. There's endless research being done dating back to 1938. The psychedelic timeline begins in 8600 BC. Okay, that's ancient. In the Guatadero cave in the Ancash region of Peru contained a high concentration of pollen and a few fragments of the mescaline-bearing cactus, also known as San Pedro. These specimens provided the earliest evidence of humans' intentional use of psychedelics. There's a whole timeline. Actually, I should probably add that to the show notes. I'll try to remember. It's very interesting, and I think I got that off of the Psychedelic Times website. My first psychedelic mushroom, aka psilocybin experience, was around 1990. Out of around 20 to 30 journeys, only one, I would say, wasn't pleasant. There are many factors that play a role in what kind of journey you will have. First is dosage. Dosage is important. While some types or genuses are more potent than others as well, similar to cannabis, this depends on location, harvest, and other factors. Also, your current state of mind plays a key factor in how your vibe will be during your journey. And if you don't know, the journey is the time that you are basically experiencing this medicine, that you feel the medicine, that you're high on the medicine, whatever you want to say. That point with psilocybin is a little shorter than LSD. Psilocybin being, anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, which it is when it begins, up to, 4 to 6 hours later. So your state of mind plays a key factor. And I recall the one bad trip that I had was during a breakup with my college boyfriend. Never again have I eaten psilocybes while not in a positive state of mind. That was my lesson. I think I was 19 or 20. And I just, wasn't in a space that, my mind going in was not in a good state of mind. And then the setting was not the best, wasn't as supportive as it could have been. The people that I was around during that time. So higher dosages should always be guided with an experienced companion, a healer or a shaman, someone that's experienced to be with you. Paul Stamets recommends a list of your trip consisting of 20 sacred items for the Sacred Mushroom Expedition. I'm sure you can find that somewhere. I'm not going to list that here, but this sounds amazing, and I would love trying the suggestion. It is also very important to me to be in a nice, peaceful, high vibe setting, preferably outdoors in nature. Just remember, set and setting. Psychedelic mushrooms have other components besides psilocybin that help with strength and activation. Two of these are psilocin and biocysteine. Following a meaningful ritual and having intention around healing some aspect of your being will be of greatest value in your experience, especially a positive and inspiring one. There are many who are finding help with serious, some lifelong conditions, specifically mental and spiritual. One way of achieving this gain can be through microdosing for periods of time. Others choose to take a stronger dose under supervision, which can help the benefits last longer without consumption. This is absolute positive healing with little, if any, side effects. Do your research. It's becoming legal, and there are different varieties as well as diversity in whatever type of healing journey you're in need of. I believe in the fact of fungi or wild mushrooms being literally connected to Mother Earth more than anything else on the planet. In this way, they are messengers, not only to life on the earth, making biospherical connections to heal whatever they can, but also to healing our bodies once they are inside of us. They carry magical medicine on every level: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. If only we could all use these precious gems in helping our journey be more healthy in body, mind, and spirit. When I say healthy, everything works together, body, mind, and spirit. You really need to be focused on all three of those, which will, of course, incorporate into your emotional well-being as well. So I could say that my own journey of expanding consciousness began at this young age in the early 90s. Psychedelics entered my life then. At that time, I was not particularly self-aware or conscious, though. It was just something people did, especially going to dead shows. Those early experiences were fun indeed, only once I witnessed a friend go through a rough experience on LSD. He took way too much and was probably not in a great state of mind going into it. And none of us really knew how to support him, but he was fine. It wasn't like, super bad or anything, but I just, remember him. We were all together. It was actually at someone's house, and, he was just kind of losing his mind a little bit, and he, took too much. There's certain people that will just take too much of things. And I'm not sure if it really, I did know him a few years after that. And I don't know if it must have affected him somehow. I have heard people say when they take too much that it really does change them, and maybe they don't want to do it ever again. It's just kind of like alters them some way. And it's usually not in like a negative way. Maybe you've heard something different, but I would say more than not, it's, I think, in a more positive way, even if they don't see that. So that was a time I was young, before my 20s, going into my 20s. No, that experience was very early on. I was in my teens probably then, and definitely pre-motherhood. Nowadays, psychedelics are gaining broader recognition as therapeutic medicine. I'm glad to see this happening and appreciate the continued research. Using psychedelics in a controlled clinical setting can be highly beneficial, especially if one is working through any kind of serious mental health challenge. I haven't done psychedelics in a clinical setting. I've just heard about it, definitely done my own research, and know that it's being done quite frequently out there. And it's probably one of the reasons it's becoming legal, is because it's, being highly researched at universities like Johns Hopkins, medical, type of research is being done. And they're actually, having people do clinical studies there in setting and, analyzing what it does to the brain and whatnot. And there are places, probably not in every state, but across the world, I'm sure, that are having clinics where you can come and do it in a clinical setting as well with a certified therapist and whatnot. So I think this is great. It's definitely safer medicine than pharmaceutical drugs that are really screwing people up, and anything that has to do with plant medicine becoming more widely spread and used, I am super supportive of and super happy to hear about. So although as seen with cannabis, I've seen how an influx of interest from professionals and companies can sometimes prioritize profit over genuine healing. It's my hope that professionals approaching in this line of work see themselves as teachers. The root word of a doctor is a teacher, if y'all didn't know that. So if you're a doctor out there of any kind, you should be teaching. You should be really teaching your patients, your clients, people about medicine. You should know what it's doing and not doing for the body, and helping people to get better, helping others to understand the medicine, its purpose, and how it interacts with the mind and the body. I've always strongly felt that the best healers have genuine experience with the medicine that they are actually practicing. Reflecting on my own experiences, I can say that psychedelics have taught me the importance of set and setting. I've learned this, and respect. I had only one negative experience with psilocybin that stands out, where my mental state and environment were far from ideal. I was young, going through a breakup, and wasn't surrounded by supportive people. And that trip was challenging, leaving me feeling isolated. Later, I had a similar experience with cannabis, a few times with this medicine. When I unknowingly consumed a potent edible, expecting it just to be a regular cookie, that surprise dose was overwhelming, amplifying the importance of being mindful about one's environment and mindset before diving into any psychedelic journey. Or in that case, just knowing what the hell you're eating. During my early and young years of being a mother, I took a long break from LSD and psilocybin, giving myself space to approach the medicine later on in my life with more intention. As my kids grew into adults, I felt my freedom arise again to dabble in this medicine. This is when I really discovered the mind expansion and connection to source of God that psychedelic plants give us. Again, I will state that, no joke, we are obviously in some serious times on this planet. There is a revolution beginning. I feel it. Do you feel it? What are you wanting to create? What are you all wanting to create? Are you needing a shift in your energy? Experiencing psilocybin alone is life-changing, possibly in many ways. Microdosing, consuming small amounts each day that you barely notice, subtle and potent reset. Thich Nhat Hanh once said, I love that guy, "We are all connected. We must learn to live mindfully, to touch the peace inside of ourselves." This medicine, I'm telling you, does that. It's literally life-changing. Don't be afraid. It's literally just another form of plant medicine. It is something like cannabis that you don't want to, take too much unless you're in a safe place. It's not going to hurt you, but it's also very beneficial. Like I said, the microdosing that you're hearing about is very beneficial, very subtle. You don't hardly feel anything, but it has been known to cure depression and anxiety and just help people with the overall sense of well-being and open your mind and, just kind of reset what's needed. And I don't think it's something that you would have to do forever. A psychiatric doctor, Benjamin Lewis, this was on a TED Talk. This link will be in the show notes. He's from the Huntsman Mental Health Institute. He did this talk about a year ago, fall of 2023. He called psilocybin an emerging treatment. He's doing studies on patients, treating them for depression from cancer to COVID-19 burnout and the challenges that arise. Symptoms ranging from grief, depression, anger, hopelessness, and isolation. Research is showing that the mushroom's compound chemicals reveal aspects of the mind in the brains that we otherwise can't access, offering significant changes to our consciousness. This is real, and it's now scientific. So, yeah, he was talking about all these different parts of the brain. And I think I touched on this actually in the cannabinoid talk I just did last week, getting into the endocannabinoid system and the different parts of the brain that cannabis can touch and affect. Well, psilocybin is similar. It's probably different too, but it actually reveals aspects of the mind. And he was talking about different parts of our brain that it touches, that other types of medicine that they've been using for years and, trying to discover these parts of the brain have not been able to touch. But psilocybin actually accesses these parts of the brain, opening them up. So it's, it's like, it's doing their magic. Call it magic mushrooms. It's doing some kind of magic in there. And yeah, so the last thing I want to touch on is how important meditation is. I'm just going to leave with this because meditation is something I mustn't leave out. It's tapping into your being with your creator, also known as meditating. It's truly the best thing that we can do on this planet. It's free. We can do it anywhere, anytime. Taking this time for you and connecting within, finding your breath, becoming aware again. It literally helps every single disease in the body. There's research on this too. This is scientific. I've got some information on my website. And it's something I wish I did more. I find myself just, kind of being a little type A and a little ADHD and just, always being busy and having all these things that I'm trying to keep up on. But meditating is vital for your health and mind expansion and connecting with Creator to find your purpose and to stay on your path and to be strong during these difficult times. Okay? So please don't forget to meditate. As we practice, hopefully daily, we are expanding our consciousness. And it's an easy thing to do. Just even 5 minutes a day will help you. The more that you do this, you will begin to feel the results in your health and well-being. Your life will begin to shift. It doesn't take long. Give it a try. I love to meditate when I practice my asanas, which are yoga poses, and pranayamas, which are my breathing exercises. But honestly, anytime and almost anywhere, y'all, meditating can be done, except when you're driving. I mean, you can almost do it when you're driving, but not the best form of it, please. I did not recommend that. And it is essential to ultimate health and vitality. Connection with God's source of your light, becoming your best self. And if you are here till the end of this podcast, then you are part of a tribe of humans that are striving for a better world for future generations. I welcome you to join me and others as we gather together and fight with our conscious love to create sustainable solutions and wellness for one another to heal what's left. What is your experience, if any, with psychedelic medicine? Please comment and we can continue this conversation. I'd appreciate it so much if you'd share this podcast with others and continue to listen each week. I will be sharing something probably totally off this topic next week. And very soon, as promised, I will have special guests on the podcast each month with topics ranging from trauma healing to healing with herbal medicine, probably more on cannabis, and climate change, as well as mental health. Much love to all of you. Have a beautiful day.
Know that there's no competition. We on a mission.